This episode of The Couch is proudly supported by Crown and Andrews Board Games. Fun for the whole family. And Scoot Airlines. Get out of here with Scoot.
Hello Australia, welcome to episode 623 of The Couch. Hope you can stick around. We've got the Bitchin' team back today talking news stories that are making news, hopefully. Jared West is coming in. He was an X Factor contestant from a few years ago. He's coming in to perform today. Talking movies with Daniele Fortecazzolo. He's looking at 3 great movies. Later on, we'll give you a chance of winning a Mamma Mia prize pack as well, so stay tuned for that. We give another lucky home viewer in, let me tell you where they are, in Port Douglas. If you're in Port Douglas, stay by your phone because we're going to be calling you. Pick up the phone. Thanks to Scoot, we'll send you to Singapore with a friend. And also Steve Collins takes us to Cape Town in South Africa. And later, Ben Aylett comes in talking technology. So we've got a big show. Hope you can stick around. It's The Couch only on Foxtel and it starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh.
Welcome to The Couch. Hope you can stick with us for the next hour. We've got a very big show. Let me tell you who's opening today. Jared West is opening. Now, he was from X Factor many years ago. He busks all around Perth. He's 22 years old now, so he's been doing this for a while. Please make him welcome. He's got his own song. He's written this. It's an amazing song. It's called Baby Steps. Here he is.
She could change the world, her little smile and big blue eyes. She looks at the sky, remembering what it's like to fly. Broken wings won't hold her back. She'll just get up, get back on track. She will run and jump. She learns to fly once again. No matter what the people say, she'll take life on with baby steps. She'll work to reach all of her goals, fighting with her heart and soul. Rosy cheeks, happy glow, little laughs at silly jokes, golden hair, freckled nose. This is how her story goes. No matter what the people say, she'll take life on with baby steps. She'll work to reach all of her goals, fighting with her heart and soul. Little baby steps, moving forward with time. She'll always show progress, she'll continue to shine. Little baby steps, moving forward with time. She'll always show progress, she'll continue to shine. No matter what the people say, she'll take life on with baby steps. She'll work to reach all of her goals, fighting with her heart and soul. No matter what the people say, she'll take life on with baby steps. She'll work to reach all of her goals, fighting with her heart and soul.
Welcome to another Bitchin' segment. Thank you to Jared West there. We'll see him at the end of the show again performing. Let me welcome our bitches for today, if we can call you that. Probably not, but doesn't matter anyway. Chris Ilsley from 6PR, Perth Tonight, welcome.
Wow, man. They've been painting this building and I'm high as a kite.
Well, I'm not floating, so it can't be that high.
Moon is high, so am I. You know.
That's a good mood to
That
set
means
us up
we're
for.
in trouble.
Di
Indeed.
Wilcox, are you high for bitching?
Oh, I tell you what, the stench is pretty strong when we walk through this building, but no, I'm not too bad.
Not bad, and
Not
I
bad.
Picked the wrong day to give up sniffing paint.
And Ted Bull, how are you going? Are you
Well,
still with us?
as John
Just as
Lennon once
stoned and
said,
high.
no, I'm down. I'm really down over the subject that I'll be discussing. I'm just shattered by this, you know. And all the subjects we've discussed in
This is
bitchin',
the hardest.
this is the one that, you know. Normally I'm a happy, carefree.
Hang on.
You know,
the
kind
pressed mode on. Okay, carry on.
but I'm just so shattered by this.
On that
one.
note, what are you talking about today?
Well, it's about Meghan Markle not being allowed to eat garlic or onions or prawns. Now, I don't know about you, but this is hold the front page stuff.
That's
this really is.
devastating.
See, it seems that
Garlic, how are they going to keep the vampires away?
well, I don't know.
what,
this
what
was
sort
something
this
I had,
story? Is this
Yeah.
the Queen that orders this?
Well, I'm glad you put the words into my mouth, but not the garlic, because this is exactly true. It seems Her Majesty. I've just worked it out. That's why Donald Trump was walking in front of her, because he was eating garlic.
But did you notice he didn't walk in front for too long?
No, otherwise she says, "Get out of the way, young fella." You know.
I
But
saw
anyway, getting
that.
back to Meghan
I sent you
Markle.
to the Tower of London.
Yes, indeed. Now,
The
getting back
last person I said there didn't
You know
like
you're never
it.
going to get back to
I'll
what you
never
were
get
talking.
into anyway. Meghan Markle, she
Yeah.
says, okay, she won't. I mean, to me, garlic prawns is sort of something traditional,
Oh, I
isn't
love
it?
my
I
garlic
would, say,
prawns.
I would say, look, excuse me, I don't mean any disrespect, your match, get nicked. I'm having my garlic
Oh,
prawn.
I could
you'd
see
be
that
very
working.
brave to say to Her Majesty.
You know what
"Get
she'd
nicked."
say, don't you? We are not amused.
And you know what
You
I'd
do that
then
very
say?
well.
I know, I've been
What's
a
it-
Queen for a long time.
My French is not too good, but I'd be saying Vive la Republique or something.
I
Yeah.
tell you what, I saw a very funny caption of the Queen with Donald Trump, you know,
Oh,
one
yeah,
of those
yeah.
photos, and someone put a thought bubble up, and it had the word moron in there, and that was supposing that the Queen would say something nasty like that.
Actually, the interesting thing about this is what people will have and not have is how Kim Jong-un took a porta potty with him when he went to Singapore.
Did he really?
Yes, so he could take his porta potty full of poop back home, and this all goes back to when Mao Zedong went over to Moscow back in the old days, and he also took a porta potty, which is not easy to say. He took his porta potty
Peter Peck,
because he was
Peck,
worried
porta
that the
potty.
KGB would take his stools and investigate them to see
See
if
what
he
he
had
eats.
anything wrong with him.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I just thought I'd throw that into the mix.
Bit of a. Is that what,
Imagine being the KGB officer assigned with that. What have you got today, Vladimir? Stool duty.
and do they wear gloves? And what's that behind you? Is that
Oh,
your potty?
no.
So is this story a beat up? Is it true? The Queen doesn't.
I've read it before. A lot of it has to do with the fact that they don't want to
Protocol.
breathe other people. They don't want to get sick, run the risk of getting sick. They won't drink the water. Did you know
Oh, there's
that
some
Her
place I won't
Majesty?
drink the water.
Well, that's true, but she always carries Malvern
Yeah.
water with her.
Yeah.
And the Queen, I know these things. The Queen also takes her own pillows with her. Now, I'm just an ordinary commoner. And I wish I could take my pillow with me
I
when I
take my
travel.
pillow
You-
everywhere.
do you really?
Do you
I
remember?
I
Do
take
you remember
my pillow
guys when they
everywhere.
came to Perth recently, a year or two ago? Was it
Yeah,
Perth?
yeah, yeah.
And the people offered them sausages. They were
They
having
had the barbie
sausages.
on the,
That's right,
yeah.
Australia Day thing I think it
Yeah.
was. But anyway, they weren't allowed to eat them. Their guides basically say you can't eat them.
Yeah.
And it is purely in case they get poisoned, I guess.
Well, you know, I mean, there's nothing worse than sitting on the throne when
don't.
you've got the runs.
Well, literally, yes.
But
The wrong throne.
Imagine this. You're the Queen, right? And Phil the Greek shuffling past, and all you can smell is a sausage sizzle. How are you going to say no? This royal business, I don't care how rich they
Yeah.
are, mate, it sucks.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
you
really
go
is.
past
I
the
mean,
sausage sizzle, you say, I'll have
mate,
two, thanks.
imagine
Onions
this.
and tomato sauce.
Prince Charles could not go to Bunnings on a Saturday morning.
No. And I couldn't eat garlic prawns,
Do you
so
know,
I don't want to be.
I have
No,
to say
I'm
to
with
you,
Di on that.
yeah, I'm with you. I don't wanna be a
imagine
princess,
the
I
life they have. Really, they're so not allowed to do anything. I mean, you can almost. I would never want to be a royal.
Nah, me
No,
either.
no,
Live in
No,
a
me either.
fishbowl.
Yeah.
Although,
So-
there's a nice ring to King Edward.
I'm sure there is.
Actually, King Edward does have
Does
a ring.
sound nice, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
King Christopher doesn't quite work.
No, it
does
doesn't. No.
And
Queen
I-
Di.
Lady Di
Oh,
works.
yeah.
I'm
Been
still not
there.
giving up garlic prawns.
Di,
Cool.
being our princess on the couch, cell queen. What are we talking about with you?
I'm discussing today that the Global Obesity Centre has decided or is thinking about actually
kids at
weighing
school.
and measuring every year 1 to 6
Isn't that
students.
a horrible thing for poor kids?
Well, I think it's quite scary in that I think we'll have some major body issues.
Could you imagine if I was at
concerns.
school, and I'm being serious here, imagine when I was little, I was quite big, obviously, not that you look at me now and think you were always a perfect body, but when I was little, I was big. Imagine being in front of 40 kids and being weighed and everyone laughing at you.
Oh, I
And
think
things like
those
that.
funds could be much better spent educating our children on how to be healthy
Correct.
Yes.
rather than
It's not
identifying.
them you have to educate, it's the
It's
parents.
the parents.
Correct.
Of course
Well,
it is.
I find
agree.
it fascinating that it's called the global obesity, doesn't it? You know, 'cause-
Yes.
The big-
I'm looking really global
Well, it
today,
does say,
aren't
well,
I?
look, there's a few, they're doing it as part of the plan, not just Australia. So
Oh.
Mexico, US, New Zealand, Finland, and Chile. So it's not just Australia. They are really doing it as a global.
Yeah, do you know what?
Changes.
Again, they target the wrong, like
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah,
said,
as you
with
said,
the
the
parents.
parents.
Yeah.
I find it really sad that you would actually subject kids to more
I agree.
victimisation. I mean, kids already have issues, and you're going to take them to school. Imagine unless they weigh them privately, but you're always going to know. The teacher's going to say you're overweight.
Even if you
what's the
weigh them
monitor?
privately, they're going to label themselves and the
Of
confidence
course, yeah,
that's
yeah.
going to
And
start
then we start
thinking.
getting these,
Yeah.
What's going to
Eating
happen if the
disorders.
parents don't give a rat's anyway? Because I mean, the number of kids who haven't had home cooked meals is truly amazing. Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
look,
sort of
I
realise
agree
when
with
you have them
Yeah.
yourself.
So, do you
Yeah.
think we
Right.
should be doing? I know you're a teacher, Di, and you're also.
Yeah, well, I
a
run a
parenting
lot of
person.
parenting workshops, and I'm in the prison system, and I'm also in women's refuges, and I'm running parenting workshops and saying to women some of the most basic things that we
Yeah.
take for granted. We
Yeah.
need to educate our
Well,
parents
you're all
on.
about living in your skin, telling kids to
Absolutely.
be happy with who they are.
We all come in different shapes and
Correct,
sizes,
and that's what you spend
and
your
that's
life doing,
important.
and you've done that with your kids. I find that quite a reversal to actually subject kids to being weighed.
It's a
And-
weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not for
But
it.
here's the thing.
Yep.
You look at me now, and you go, oh yes, well, you know, well insulated. But when I was a kid, I was like a beanpole. You would not, if I showed you pictures of me as a kid, you would not recognise
Everyone's
me.
body shape changes.
I was thinner than Di. Truly.
Gee whiz, thinner than me.
Thinner than Ted.
No, I have to be honest. When I was a kid, I had my own postcode. I was that big.
Boom, boom, gee.
No, but I just
Virgo
find
would be
we're moving
thrilled with that line.
towards
That's a real
everybody being.
Virgo joke.
Isn't
Sorry,
it?
go.
Isn't
But
it
you
funny?
know what we're trying
Google's
to
too
do? We
light.
are
Yeah.
trying to
They drop the pin.
micromanage everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we
Guess
need
what?
to stop
Get
it.
out of people's
Advocate
lives.
healthiness.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's going to be a different shape, but be healthy with it.
Yeah, I don't
That's-
get it.
And
I-
you know something? Just because somebody's big does not mean that they are necessarily unhealthy.
And that's
You
right.
could have
Someone
somebody-
who's skinny doesn't mean that they're healthy.
But you That's could-
true.
Yeah.
But you could have somebody who is fit
Yes.
and not healthy.
Do you know-
They could be
Yeah.
fit but not
Do
healthy
you know
by
the worst
definition.
thing about
Look
going
at
to
me.
school but and being overweight?
Look at me.
We are
Can
looking
everyone
at you.
look at Ted, please?
Look at Ted! Please look at Ted!
He's got the body of a Greek god, or was that a damn Greek? Oh, well, that's my one.
Talking about Greek gods, did you know when you see all those statues in Rome, and
Yeah.
this my good mate Terry Ryan
You
told me
thought you
this.
were looking in the mirror.
No,
Good friend
because
Thor.
they all have
You
little
got the Greeks
willies.
and the Romans
They all have
confused.
little willies. And the reason why all these statues have little willies
Yep.
It's
so it
because
doesn't
little
do-
Willy won't go
No,
home.
of course it
but you
wouldn't.
can't push Willy around.
Excuse me, this is serious stuff.
Chris
They've all got
Chris does the
little
best
They
of
all
the
have,
sweet.
excuse me, they all have little willies so it doesn't draw attention away from their face and the rest of their
Well, I
body.
reckon it wouldn't be naked anyway. You'd always be looking up and down.
But that's why they all have. So next time you have a look. You
want a bit
go
of-
on Google
You want a
and
bit more
check out.
trivia?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Do you want to know why you don't? You know, if they make porn movies, they make these really busty women, and so they got boobs and bums. Do you know why models don't have that? For the same reason. If you had a really attractive model,
Yeah.
you'd be looking at the boobs and,
And not
bums
the
and not
clothes.
the clothes.
See, the Romans knew what they were doing.
I agree
They
with you.
really did. So I just thought I'd throw that into the mix.
I reckon. Do you reckon if you were one of these today models or statues, would you be?
He'd be the one for the fuller figure.
the fuller figure. Or how about the other one they used to have once upon a time, a
We'd have to-
matronly figure?
We'd have to enhance some of the features, I reckon, Di. Reduce them, obviously,
really
because
trying not to visualise here. Can everyone...
Would you stop picking? Look, I mean,
Stop
this
picking
poor
on
old
Ted.
bloke,
If you don't
the
know,
bus
we'll
the
happily
bus from
fill
the
the
home
gaps.
drops me out the front every
Exactly.
time to do the show, and I just come in here and get ridiculed.
last time he got dropped off near IGA and he's looking for the studio. And they said that's how the locals like it.
But
Misunderstood.
apparently he found some really good specials from
Yes,
Rocky. You know?
that's right. Poor IGA, while they're still open, he kept them in business. Can I move to you, Chris?
Yes,
Chris.
Yes.
Save the day.
On a serious note, you'd know that a few weeks ago, we managed to get one of the scammers on the line
You did.
on Perth
And
tonight.
it
Well,
was
last
good.
year, to tax scams alone, 630 grand.
Wow.
Man,
That's
that's
a
a
lot
lot
That
of
is
iTunes
a lot,
I
cards.
yeah.
think
People have paid
People
that.
have handed
was one that-
over 630 grand
Yep.
to tax. Now, forget all the other scams,
yeah,
just
yeah.
tax office scams alone.
Now, I'm not too sure if it was your program on Perth Night, because you'll hear a lot of this sort of stuff on Chris's show, but there was one where somebody rang one of our listeners, or our listeners were bringing it up, that they were they were offered money, and to take that money, they had to pay $15,000. It was on Facebook.
Yeah.
They've like, someone copies Chris's profile, so I copy Chris's profile. I go on Facebook and write to you, Ted. Say, hey Ted, you and I have won $1 million. The only catch is we have to pay $5,000 each for the tax. So you believe me because it's from my Facebook. You go, okay, Fred, let's do it. You fork out your money, and the scammer takes it. And apparently, I believe there was like 28 people here in WA that were scammed to about
That's horrible. That's
Yeah,
120 grand.
I got a phone call from one of these tax office scammers one day, and when I was at home, and I thought I'll take the mickey out of him a bit. And at some point he says, "You need to take this serious." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes, or you be facing corporal punishment." And I went, "Oh,
please.
goody, can you whip me now?"
I finish at 12. Can we meet in the city? We got a big car park. It's funny, isn't it? These scammers have become out of control. Do you know what?
But they're getting
scammers-
more and more clever, and
Correct.
that's the
Now,
problem.
I've received a letter from, like an email from the tax department,
Oh,
and I really thought it comes across so real.
It's
And
scary,
it's only
isn't
because
it?
I'm aware to check it first.
Don't respond to it though.
No, I
So,
didn't.
so they don't know that your email address
I like
is
the
valid.
ones that come from eBay that say you've bought something and you know you didn't purchase that, but you need to go onto your PayPal. They've got a link, so they make you click onto the link,
And they either
that's
give
how-
you malware or they send you to a fake
That's
site.
how they get all your details.
But isn't it? I
Scary.
mean, you have to commend the people who are working to let us know about these things.
Yes.
And they're on it all the time, aren't they?
Yeah.
To draw attention
Oh,
to the
it's just-
fact
It's
that
the reality of the modern
But they're
world.
like
Everyone rips
cockroaches.
everybody off.
Every time you kill one, there's 3 more that come out at you.
I mean, there's nothing worse than being scammed from someone who just wants to take money for tax and is not offering you love.
Yeah, look,
Oh,
I
no,
think
not
these
off your
people,
lap.
and the worst thing is you'll never catch them because they're overseas.
You're right there, Dave.
Oh, you could catch them if they wanted to.
Really?
Turn around. Mate, most of them come from despotic countries. Just turn around to the despots and say, "We're going to cut you off unless you do something about the scammers, mate." And suddenly they'll just disappear.
I know I got one once, and I was quite nasty. The guy was from India,
Yeah.
Mumbai, if that's what it's
Mumbai.
called.
Well, that's where
Mumbai.
he said he was from.
And I actually threatened to go and pinch the elephant. I said, I'm going to come and repossess your elephant. And he and I tell you what.
Well, I'm not part of this impolitically correct.
But you know what?
comment
It's
from
not.
our
It's not meant as a
comment.
racial thing. But I
Our
find that they're so
facilitator.
rude. I find they ring at the most awkward times, and they don't give up. They keep ringing until you.
That's
give them
the thing. Which part of no don't you understand? That's no. N-O.
Go
Negative. Nada.
But I find that they really insult our intelligence and our culture. And it's bad enough when you get them on the call centres that don't know what we're talking about. I just find that now we have to get them, scamming us as well.
Yeah, I find it. Yeah,
You know the way to
that's what
fix
I
them on
was
the
gonna
call centres? Totally Australianise everything you say.
They want me
Haven't
to
got a
wrap
clue
it
what
up.
you're talking
Talking
about.
about-
Chris Ilsley, thank you very much. Perth tonight,
Pleasure.
8 to midnight, Monday to Friday on 6PR.
Yeah, or 6pr.com.au.
Look forward to it. Big guests coming up next week as always. You've got great guests. Thank you. Di Wilcox, what are you up to this week?
Oh, this week I've still got plenty of workshops that I'm running, and but I have got a couple of guests that I'll be bringing in to you in a couple
Beautiful.
of weeks.
What's your website?
Diane at diewilcox.com.
And the Magic Coat is
And
still
the Magic
doing well.
Coat is still doing very, very well.
And Ted Bull, of course, you'll be going back into the bus near IGA. You're on Curtin FM on Saturdays.
Yeah, but I
Keeping busy.
forgot to bring my bags when I go to IGA. Is that a problem?
No, look,
It'll only be a problem when you're arrested because IGA called the
no, look,
police.
and look in the bin because apparently a lot of people throw away those reusable ones anyway.
And don't have a go at the cashiers. It's not
That is
Oh no,
Written
never.
for
Love the
another
cashiers.
week.
Love the cashiers.
Thank you for our panel. Thank you for you for
No point in
watching.
having to go out the
And
cashiers
we will
if you
be
use
back
the auto
after the
checkout.
break with more. But next after the break, we're talking movies with Daniele. See you then. Well done, everybody. Welcome back to the couch show. Had a lovely session there with our bitchin' team, but we're going to have a lot of fun now with movies. Daniele Forticazzola is back with us.
Perfect.
Now, we went and saw Mamma Mia during the week. Did you see any other movies?
Yeah, we saw a few this week. We've got The Breaker-Uppers as well, and we'll be chatting about Beirut.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Mamma Mia. Can I get your personal opinion? What do you think of it before we analyse it officially?
I mean, it's ABBA, it's Mamma Mia, what's there not to love? Really enjoyable. It's just a movie where you just got to kind of like leave the plot at the door and just enjoy the scenery,
it's a feel-good, isn't it?
the choreography, the music, and that's
I have to be honest with you, because I'm an ABBA fan.
Yeah.
If there was no ABBA music, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But some of the songs, they moved to a couple of songs that have never been used in the
Yeah,
movie previously.
yeah.
But I know all the ABBA music,
Yeah.
but I did enjoy it, but I thought some of the songs were a bit...
I think that's a disadvantage being a sequel. Obviously, a lot of the best ABBA songs
Have
were
already
used in
come
the
out.
original film, but they had a few good ones to play around with in the sequel.
So tell us about the movie for those
Yes,
people who haven't
so
been.
Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. It's set 5 years after the original, and this time we've got Amanda Seyfried, who plays Sophie.
She's an amazing
I
actress.
love her. I love her.
I do too.
Yeah, she's at a bit of a crossroads in her life, and as she's kind of navigating through some personal things, she learns about her mum and her mum's life before Sophie had come along. So how she came to Greece, how the 3 dads came into her life, and how she started Donna and the Dynamos.
We sort of guessed that, didn't we? They had the
Yeah.
3 dads because she
Yeah.
didn't know who the father was.
Yeah.
But I want to know, why didn't they do a DNA test?
Because at the end of the first film, they just decided we all
be a
all
dad.
love her. She loves us equally. Let's all be part of her
True.
life.
And there's a twist in the movie which comes at the end.
Yes.
But I actually thought it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But the storyline wasn't the
The
greatest.
storyline isn't super cohesive, so it's obviously like set in the present day with a lot of flashbacks to a young Donna. So Lily James, who most people probably know from Cinderella or the Potato Guernsey Literary Pie Society.
She was good.
Yeah, she's amazing. So and I felt she really like effortlessly moved between. You didn't notice it was kind of like 2 different actresses. Like she kept a lot of Meryl Streep's mannerisms.
And even if you don't like ABBA, I noticed a lot of humour there.
Yeah,
There was
lots
a lot
of
of
humour. I
humour.
mean, the scenery as well. I mean,
Yeah,
it's set in
beautiful.
Greece, filmed in Croatia, but beautiful scenery. I mean, if you love ABBA music, there's some great renditions of Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia, Fernando.
And what about that one that went, can you hear the drums, Fernando?
And so all the original cast
That
are
was Cher,
back
by the
as
way.
well, but inclusion, there's Cher, who's a great addition, has a scene-stealing turn. So
Fantastic.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen it, here's a trailer.
I have never felt closer to Mom. I'm in the exact same place that she was all those years ago.
You're pregnant.
Yeah, I am. Tonight, it's a night for celebration.
Come on, let's get this show on the road.
I was told you couldn't come. I'm a spontaneous person. No, you're not. No, I'm not.
These are my dads.
It takes 3 great men to create such a woman.
I never did ask you guys, what happened when you met my mother?
Here I go again. How can I resist you?
I don't know what my future holds, but the world is wide. I want to make some memories. There's an island, Calicari. People used to think if you sailed on from there, you'd fall off the edge of the world. That sounds like the place for me.
I'm Bill.
I'm Donna. He is literally the handsomest man in the world.
Except for this guy.
What kind of island is this?
Can I help? This whole place is incredible.
I think we should stay here together. May the rest of our lives be the best of our lives.
Just tell me you didn't invite your grandmother.
Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh my God. I've decided to commit to being a grandmother.
Grandma, you weren't invited.
That's the best kind of party, little girl.
My soulmate may actually be carbs.
Then mine must be wine.
All 3 of us are grandfathers. And that's that. Look what you've done with the place. She wanted to make her mum proud. If she hasn't done that all her life.
We can't tell anybody about the baby yet.
I just told Bill.
Yeah, and I told Harry. I told many, many people.
Whoa, whoa.
You're about to become a great-grandmother.
Great grandmother. I'm leaving that out of the bio.
I tell you what, that is so funny. And for those people who love that stiff look of Cher, you're going to love the movie. She sort of slides down those stairs, and the voice is still amazing.
The voice is still there. I don't think she can really create
No,
any other
stiff
facial
look.
movements. Yeah.
But there's a lot of money got into that face.
Yeah,
But Beirut, what's that one
Yeah,
about?
so Beirut is it's about a former US diplomat who's lost everything during a stay in Beirut and vows to never return. But 10 years on, he's enlisted by the CIA during the Civil War to rescue a former colleague of his that's been held captive.
Any big stars in this one?
Yes, so we've got John Hamm, so most people would know from Mad Men.
Yes.
He's in the leading role as Mason, the former diplomat, and also Rosamund Pike, who most people would know from Gone Girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gone Girl.
Yeah,
She's
the
in
one
this.
that went like really,
Weird.
really crazy.
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
one.
that is a role
And
you can't forget.
Who directed this one? Is it a good director, a well-known one?
It's Brad Anderson, so he's relatively new.
Don't know.
Yeah,
Worth a watch?
Yeah, you know, if you're into your thrillers, a bit of espionage, edge of your seat stuff, so very different to Mamma Mia.
Check it out.
Yeah,
Here
check
it
the
is.
trailer.
I was raised as an only child with two people who basically hated each other just enough to stay together. So I guess you could say I've been mediating since well before I was born. Years before I heard the term mutually assured destruction, I was very familiar with it growing up in that house.
Mason Francis Skiles, 45 years old. 10 years ago, he was deputy chief of mission here, until his wife was killed.
He's damaged goods, but he's manageable.
Maybe one of you could tell me what I'm doing here.
3 nights ago, an American was pulled off the street in West Beirut. Next morning, we got a communique from a group calling itself the Militia of Islamic Liberation. They have the guy they want to talk. They want you to broker the deal.
They asked for you specifically.
Your friend Cal, he's the hostage.
Cal's the head of all Mideast operations.
He talks. You'll be waiting for bodies to pile up on the embassy sidewalk.
What do you want me to do?
You're an experienced negotiator. Negotiate.
What do you want?
I will track Cal Riley for the return of my brother, Rafael Bourajan.
Give me a meeting in Israel.
Munich Olympics, Madrid, flight 305. 46 days. All of this, Rafid Abu Rajal.
Is this about you looking for the man who killed your wife?
If they can't find your brother, you're gonna have to come up with an alternative.
This is alternative.
He's given us 6 hours to deliver the brother.
He's hiding. He's been driven so deep his own people don't know where he is.
Right now, there's a hell of a lot of unprotected pieces in the field.
Do you think they want to save Cal, or do you think they want to save the information?
That's an ugly question.
Clearly, the monsters have taken over Lebanon. Something needs to be done.
And give Israel the keys to the city?
I need to see Cal. And it's impossible. It's only impossible if he's dead.
2,000 years of revenge, vendetta, murder. Welcome to Beirut.
That is almost like the Donald Trump meets Kim Jong type story, or goes to Putin.
Yeah.
Anyway, good movie.
Heavy stuff.
It looks exciting.
Yeah.
now, the last movie we're looking at today.
Yes,
The Breaker
Upperers. A bit
What
of
a
a
name.
mouthful. Yeah. So this one's really funny. So it's like a bit of a twist on the romantic comedy genre. It's if you love Kristen Wiig comedies or Amy Schumer, like Trainwreck, Bridesmaids, you'll love this. It's about two best friends. They're cynical about love after, you know, their own misfortunes in the dating field. And they set up an agency to break couples up.
Really?
So no matchmaking, the complete opposite. Splitting couples up.
Wow.
And no scenario is too strange or too daring.
So they're so negative that they just want to break
they're
everybody
just
up.
like, you know, so if you're like a gutless person in a relationship and you don't want to do a face-to-face breakup,
Yeah.
you go to these two women
they do it for
and
you.
they sort out. So they'll you know, pretend they're police women. They'll, you know, fabricate pregnancies,
set up
or they'll
the
fabricate
breakup.
that they're pregnant. They'll fabricate that, you know, there's been an abduction and their spouse has gone missing.
Who are these women?
Yeah, I know, you know. So they're played by Jackie Van Beek and Madeline Sammy. So they're two New Zealand comedians.
Okay.
They've also directed the film. And complications ensue when one of the leads falls in love with one of her clients.
She gets too involved.
Yeah.
Now, is it a New Zealand movie?
Yeah, it's a New Zealand film. So, I mean, we've seen a lot of these kind of rom-coms, but I think what's great about this is it's nice to see it from a different cultural perspective. So, you know, I don't remember the last time I saw a film set in New Zealand, but it's great. It's
Are the
hilarious.
casts well known?
For New Zealand, to New Zealand audience, they are. But I think we'll see lots of great work coming from these two. Like, really, really recommend The Breaker Uppers.
Let's have a
look. So
look.
check out the trailer.
Cherie don't wanna be with you no more. Cherie don't wanna be with you no more. Cherie don't wanna be with you no more. I'm sorry, Jeff, it's over.
What?
Hello, Breaker Uppers. You want to be single by March? Consider it done.
Just because we got gay marriage doesn't mean we need to follow through, you know? I didn't vote for it.
You weren't gay 8 months ago, Russell.
I want a nice, clean break. I don't want years of heartache and stalking and therapy and possible violence.
I'll shoot your faces.
You work for weak assholes who don't have the guts to talk to their partners. Yep.
I'm Jen, and this is Mel.
Hey, Mel.
Hi. Jordan, how can we help?
I want to break up with my missus, Miss.
Shut him down! Put him on the ground! Mel. Hot. What? Don't forget our #1 rule. Don't get attached.
Screwing a minor. Go you.
He's not a kid, he's just a younger man.
Oh, sick. A lot younger. Disgusting.
He's 18.
Oh, legal.
Oh, hell no! This better be candid camera.
That hasn't been a show since the 90s. I don't even know how you know that.
Do not talk to me, white girl.
Okay, my suggestion is we walk away with our integrity and our faces intact. What do you say?
This is the sort of thing that happens when you take charge, Mel.
Are you guys strippers?
Yes.
Graham! I want to make love!
Hey, Mom.
She's pregnant. What the fuck? Just go with it. We did IVF because the eggs are a bit older.
I wanna smash it!
Those damn New Zealanders, Breaker Uppers. It looks good.
Yeah, no.
Now, all three of those movies are out right now.
All in cinemas
You can go and
now.
watch it.
Yeah.
Now, let's have a look at the top 5 movies as people have voted for them because they go out and watch them. Here they are, the top 5 movies. Let's have a look at number 5.
We've got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Number 4.
We've got Dwayne The Rock Johnson in Skyscraper.
Number 3.
The Drac Pack is all back in Hotel Transylvania 3.
Number 2.
The superhero family everyone loves, Incredibles 2.
And number 1.
And last one, The Avengers. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I haven't seen any of those.
You haven't?
I haven't seen any of them.
Any of them.
Have you?
Fred. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
Skyscraper, you know, which we discussed
Jurassic,
last.
you
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
Jurassic World, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. You've seen quite a lot. That's what a movie guy does. Thank you very much. Now, thanks to Universal Movies or cinemas or pictures, as we call them, thanks to them, they've given us some prize packs for Mamma Mia to give away. We've got 5 to give away. Not bad if you get 5. The budget must have been pretty good. Now, if you'd like to win one of those prize packs, it does have a whole heap of stuff which I can't run through, but there's CDs, there's badges, there's phone cases, there's lots of stuff. Trust me, it's worth it. And there's a double movie pass in there as well. If you'd like to win that, just be one of the 5 first people to SMS us. The code word is SHARE, you know. Ooh, share. All you have to do is send that code word with your name and address to 0439 929 929. That's the number on screen, 0439 929 929. Put the code word SHARE, name and address, and you could be one of the lucky 5 people to take those prize packs. They're awesome. Thank you very much. Now, you're giving one away on your website as well, or have you already given it away?
Yeah, no, I haven't given it away yet. Yeah.
What's your website?
So, dinewithdaniela.com. So, it's a monthly EDM, so you get recipes. I do a Dine with Daniela and interview series. So, I chatted with Guy Grossi. I'm chatting with Clayton Jacobson next, who
very
directed
good people.
Brothers Nest and Kenny.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and a few giveaways. So, yeah. Check it out.
Well done. Hopefully next week we'll come in and cook something for us.
Yeah,
I
love
put
to.
you on the spot there.
Love to.
But this is Daniele Fotogazzola, knows everything about movies and everything else. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you once again. It's always a pleasure.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you at the other side of this break with some more. We're talking travel and we're giving someone a chance of winning a trip to Singapore. So pick up that damn phone. See you then. Welcome back to the couch. It's time for us to go to South Africa. To take us there is our very own travel correspondent, Steve Collins. Welcome back.
Hello, Fred. Thank you very much.
Now, you know, on my sheet, I had there Cape Toe.
Well, no, it's Cape Town. Yeah,
well,
Cape Town.
Cape
Oh, it's a wonderful place, Cape Town. Cape
idiot.
Town is slightly better, though.
Well, I
Slightly
hope
better
so,
known.
because I've been looking up Cape Toe and I haven't been able to find one, but welcome back.
Thank you very much. Cape Town is actually, most people think have heard of Cape Town. It is one of the prettiest places I've ever been to because it's right on the coast. It's on the South Atlantic coast, and it's got this incredible Table Mountain which sits just behind the city. Most extravagant. Look up there, it's just amazing. Ooh. And you can look at Table Mountain and it's ever changing because of the microclimate around it. This is at the V&A waterfront, which is a beautiful area. There's a lot of restaurants there, a lot of shops, a lot of tourist activities there. And it's just a great little place to go and visit.
What does that remind you of? Anywhere else in the world? Can you think
well,
of
no, it actually reminds me of Cape Town, to be honest with you. But it's a great little city to get around, and there's some statues of some prominent South Africans. I think Nelson Mandela's there, and there's a prominent pigeon or seagull, whatever it is, rat of the sky. But look, it's a lovely place. There's so much activity and so much fun around the waterfront. This is a little place called Beau Cap. This is one of the oldest parts, and all the houses are painted these incredible colours. And these are the original Cape Towners because what happened was it was settled by the Dutch, and you know the Dutch had the Dutch East Indies, which is now Indonesia, and they needed workers over there, so they took people from the Dutch East Indies, or Indonesia it is now, as their workers. And so they followed their traditions and painted their houses bright colours.
Well, remember we went to Singapore and they had those, what were the houses called that were all...
They were I'm just trying to think of those ones.
I couldn't think of the name, but you know what I mean. In Singapore, there's a lot of houses.
Peranakan, the Peranakan houses.
That's the one. And they're all different colours. And
all different colours,
nice.
Pretty much like that.
Yeah.
But it's a very, very dramatic city, is Cape Town. Very hilly city as well, because you've got this massive mountain just up, and so the streets can be quite steep. But it's wonderful. A lot of great restaurants there as well.
What's there to do there for people who want to travel there? What can they do there?
Well, there's plenty to do there. First of all, let's go out. The coastline near there is just extraordinarily beautiful. Look at this. This is. There's a lot of mist there because this is the Atlantic Ocean. It's the South Atlantic, and there's all these dramatic mountains there. I think that's Lion's Head, and these great little coastal towns. You've got Camps Bay. You've got Bantry Bay. And look, it's just extraordinary. You go for these drives, but everywhere you go there, it's a great lifestyle too. There's beautiful restaurants, great hotels everywhere. People are very, very friendly, and it's just a stunning place. And this is one of the beaches.
Beach houses, are they?
Yeah, well, change rooms. They're similar to the ones that you see down in Melbourne. This is a place called Simon's Town, and there's this wonderful penguin colony here. Yeah, and there's tens of thousands of these penguins. It's a lovely little place to go and visit. They're just they're sort of, they're not quite like fairy penguins, but they're a little bit taller. But they are a small penguin species, and they're just they're in love. Those two, aren't they? And it's just a great place to go. But it's a getting around there because everything is dramatic. They've got all these scenic drives. And of course, the other thing they've got there, just inland from here, they've got the wine country. And they have got some fantastic wineries there. It's beautiful because of the mountains. You've got these wonderful valleys that are covered in vines. And you go there and you do a little bit of wine tasting, etc. The food is brilliant as well. It's just that they're really, really good at their food and wine. And
how long did you spend in Cape Town?
I was there for a couple of times, and I probably spent about 5 days altogether.
Would you say that's enough to see most of it, or would you?
I think so. I think so because there's so much more in Africa to see as well. From Cape Town, you can go and do the garden route as well, which is another beautiful
Good hotels in Cape Town?
Oh, brilliant hotels in Cape Town. I stayed in a couple of beauties. I stayed at the Cape Grace Hotel, and I also stayed at the Table Bay Hotel, and both of them were fantastic.
When you talk about service,
Yeah.
I mean, you've travelled a lot.
Yeah.
What was the service? From
Brilliant.
1 to 10, what would you give them?
Oh, look, that's right up in the 8s for the service.
Fantastic.
The staff are very, very friendly. They're very, very efficient. Because of the price also, don't forget that we compared the value of the rand against the dollar is extremely good.
Wow.
So for us, it's not an expensive place to go. For instance, to have a meal,
Yeah.
you're looking at about $15 for a first class meal.
You know
You're
what?
looking
You
at
don't
about
even
$10 to
get that in
$15 for
Bali.
a good
that's good.
bottle of wine. Now, the thing about it, it has just been the 100th anniversary of Nelson Mandela's birth,
Yep.
and this year is Mandela Year. And one of the places when you go to Cape Town that you've got to visit, it's not a pleasant experience, but it's Robben Island. This is where Nelson Mandela was held prisoner for 27 years. It is one of the most rugged places I've ever seen. It's cold.
Oh,
and
so you
it's-
can actually do trips there?
Well, you do trips
Oh, wow.
there. You go and visit, and there's a lot of people go and visit, and you learn about the history of it. This is it's very, very stark place. And we had a guide, and the guides are all ex-political prisoners.
Oh, wow.
And they tell you their stories. So there's a very personal. There's our guide. The story. He was arrested when he was 17 years old, and he spent many, many years there. That was Nelson Mandela's cell. He spent 27 years in that
little
cell, and look
cell.
how base it is.
Yeah.
This is outside another prison which is closed. This is on the mainland. When they decided to free him, they sent him to this other prison. He had his own quarters there, and then he was released. And then, of course, that was the end of apartheid shortly after that.
He was let free.
But when you go to Robben Island, honestly, you learn a lot about apartheid. You learn about how nasty it was. It's not a pleasant experience to go, but it's something that you should do if you want to understand what South Africa used to be like.
It's interesting to know that those people who are the guides are all ex-prisoners. Or
They are ex-prisoners. You know, the interesting thing about it was the political prisoners were treated much worse than, say, your ordinary criminals,
Correct.
your rapists and your murderers. The rapists and the murderers, they could have visitors. Their accommodation was better. The political prisoners are only allowed to have one visit per year, and if the government decided they weren't going to have it, even though their family might have arrived on the island, they would just cancel and stuff like that. They were not allowed to communicate with their families. It was very, very tough.
Looking at that footage, the prison looks like it'd been restored. Or cleaned
No,
up,
it
or
hasn't been.
No?
It hasn't been restored.
So that's what it was like back then?
That's what it was like. It was back then. They had this big limestone quarry that all the political prisoners had to work in, and it was very, very dry then. The limestone would get in their eyes and their tear ducts, and they all had eye problems, and they all used to breathe the dust in, and they had chronic asthmatic problems and stuff like that. It was a horrible lifestyle.
So how do we get to Cape Town if we want to go from Australia?
Well, there's several ways to do it. Of course, South African Airways flies there direct every day. You fly to Joburg, and then it's only about a 2-hour flight, I think, from Joburg down to Cape Town. Qantas is starting to fly there from Perth later on in this year as well. Look, it's a terrific place. It really is beautiful. It's a great, the food and the entertainment
Great
there is
experience.
fantastic. People are very, very friendly, and it's such a dramatic place to go and see.
Oh.
Bessie, go and do a little cruise and look at it from the sea, and it is astounding. It's so beautiful.
Fantastic. That is, of course, Cape Town. Steve has personally been there, so he knows what he's talking about. Steve, what's your website if people want to get more information about travel?
Steve Collins, travelcorrespondent.com.
Do you know where you're taking us in a couple of weeks?
No, I haven't thought about that yet. I'll have a bit of a think. I'm thinking maybe New Zealand.
Oh, sounds
because that's another stunning place. It is just so beautiful.
Cannot wait. Now, stick around because we're going to try and give away this Flight for Two flying Scoot, our other favourite airline.
Yes.
Let's give them a call. Let's go straight to the phone call. Now, this is call number 4 or 5, I think, and we're going to call Joshua Cooper, who's living in Port Douglas, here in Australia, of course, and that's in Queensland, isn't it? Port
That's
Douglas?
north of Queensland, north of Cairns.
There you go. Thank you very much. Let's give him a ring, Ben, and let's see. We'll give him 5 dials to pick up the phone, thanks to Scoot. And if he can do that, he'll take the 2 tickets to sing with Singapore Airlines, which is Scoot, but they'll fly to Singapore, including their seats and their luggage. Let's dial that number.
The person you have called is not available. Please leave a short 10-second
you've
message
missed
after
out.
the tone. And
There you go. I don't think we'll try ringing him. That is the fifth person that hasn't picked up the phone. They've got their phone off. Unfortunately,
Have you got my phone number
I
there?
reckon next week I'll be ringing you and just go, hello, Freddie. Yes, I reckon you may have to do that. But that's how it works. Basically, if you want to win 2 tickets flying anywhere in the Scoot network, all you have to do is send us an SMS with the code word Scoot. There it is on screen. But you must pick up the phone, folks. You know the drill. 0439 929 929. That is our SMS number. Or you can email us at scoot@thecouch.com.au. Very, very simple. If you've missed this and you've just walked in and said, hey, what did he say? Go on our website, watch the other competitions, and all the details are there. Scoot is always our code word, which why wouldn't it be? And of course, your name and address has to be, whether you send it by SMS or by email, we need it there. And we hope you have better luck next week. Thank you very much to Steve Collins. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you very much, Fred. Pleasure.
Thanks to Scoot for being such a wonderful airline. Be different. Fly Scoot, folks. And at the other side of this break, we'll do something different too. Talk technology with Ben Aylett. See you then. Welcome back to the couch. We're talking to Ben Aylett. He's back from Bali. And he's got a beautiful shirt that doesn't fit me, but he can keep it then. Welcome back.
Thanks very much, Fred.
Why is it that there's so much technology in this world and it keeps refreshing constantly?
It's just the nature of the beast. We find a way to do something better and we roll it into a product.
Now, you know, I work on 6PR and there's so many people ring me and they're always confused about technology. There's a lot of elderly people.
Yep.
Now, is there a benefit for people of any age to get into technology, or should they just switch off and not get involved at 70 or 80?
Oh, no, any age is a good age to get into technology. In fact, the technology today is way more powerful and also so much easier to use compared to what it used to be 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Because I know there's a lot of people out there that still have the old flip phones and they don't want to touch the new smartphones and smart TVs and all the new PCs, the Apple laptops. And I always say to people on radio, look, don't be afraid of it. Get some help. There's people out there that do training and you can do one-on-one and you can learn everything because technology is amazing. Now, talking about technology, you've got these amazing AF240s. Tell me all about them.
Now, these are a set of headphones by AudioFly. AudioFly is a Perth-based business. They've actually got their own little studio design workshop in King Street in Perth.
Oh, in the city.
Yep, in the city. So it's designed and they're staffed by sound engineers and musos.
Wow.
So people who really know audio engineering. And they make all sorts of headphones. Now, these are the over-ear headphones by AudioFly. These are the AF240s, and the sound quality is just phenomenal.
Compare them to other headsets. Tell me what's better about them. Because people would know, oh, yeah, I have that problem.
Yeah, well, it's really, the sound quality that comes out of it is known as very, very flat. So it means it responds evenly across the entire audio spectrum, and they're just really great headphones. The quality of the build is something else. So they use real leather for the up and around the head and also the cups, and it's just a very well designed set of headphones.
Just hold them up a little bit higher.
Hold them up a little. There we go. There we go. So
we were talking about this before.
Yes.
It's the depth in there because you get a lot of really expensive headsets, but there's not much there, so they rub against your ear, the plastic.
They do.
And I find even in radio, we've got Sennheiser, and I find that they hurt after 5 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas I've been using a cheaper pair only because they're thicker.
Yeah. And these similar quality to Sennheiser. Now, Sennheiser are legendary for their quality of product, but these actually have slightly deeper cups.
They're comfortable.
They are comfortable, so I can wear these for hours. I use these with my computer. I use these with my phone, and just about any chance I get, I slap these on.
Now, I did ask you, it comes in cream and black.
It does.
They're about $299.
Yep,
$300.
$300, but I was lucky to find this on special down at the local JB Hi-Fi. And I'll just snap them up.
And I'll give you a little bit of an insight too. If you buy them, keep the receipt. If you're travelling, you might be able to get the GST back on them. $10.
Most likely, yeah.
$30.
$30 back. Yeah, and so the cups themselves, the head units, are all good. They don't use active noise cancelling, so it's important to note that what they use is something called noise isolation, which is basically covering your ears in a nice, snug fashion so it blocks out most of the noise. The other really good thing about this is this cable which is detachable.
Now you've got not volume control, but you've got a thing for the phone, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got the
Microphone.
little. Yeah, it's got the microphone and also the little button, so you can take and make calls and activate your intelligent assistant on your phone. It's great for that. Detachable at both ends, but
beautiful.
This is actually reinforced with Cordura.
Let's have a feel
It's
of it.
incredibly strong.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's like an iron, but a little bit thinner. That's
right.
amazing. That's actually very good quality. And I love the fact you can detach the whole thing.
Yeah.
Now, these, they are available now, and they're from Western Australia, obviously, for people over east that are watching the show.
Yep, they are.
Can people buy them directly from the shop?
Absolutely. You can go to
Online?
audiofly.com and you can get them directly from their web shop. And that's anywhere in the world as well.
And you got yours from JB Hi-Fi, as you said?
Yep, JB Hi-Fi. So
fantastic.
They sell in JB Hi-Fi, they get them online. I think you can also get them at Good Guys, Retrovision, all the other places, but go directly to the website and you can go straight to them.
West Australian as well.
Yeah.
And the fact that you said they're good, they must be good.
Yeah.
I think they look quite sturdy and actually quite nice.
They
stylish.
are. They're actually very sturdy. So that cable, just for example, in their shop, if you go into their shop in King Street, you'll see that a bicycle has been hung using one of those cables.
So you can see the strength of it.
It is
Very
so
good.
strong, yeah.
Well
It comes
done.
with a canvas bag and an airline adapter. So you know these guys are serious about good headphones when you get things like those little extras thrown
We
in.
wanted to just quickly touch on the health record.
Oh, yeah, my health
What's
record?
that?
Yep. Okay, so my health record, the idea behind it is a good one. Trying to have a centralised database where you've got all things like your treatments, your medications, and your medical history is all enrolled into one place that's accessible to the people that should have access. The downside is that it's a centralised database where people can access all your information. So it's based on the government's track record so far when it comes to technology, cybersecurity and keeping things safe and secure and working right. It hasn't been stellar. So when we start looking at things like personally identifiable information with all this health information coupled with it, it becomes a bit scary because we can't be sure that it's going to be kept out of the unauthorised hands.
So what do we need to do? Do we need to, because I got rid of mine, I must admit I went and took it off my MyGov.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people did the same.
Yep.
Is that what they should be doing at this moment while we don't know, or is it safe to stay with it?
Right now, there is an opportunity to opt out of my health record. Yep. So it is easier to opt out and then opt in back later on when we're more sure of how things are going to be handled than it is to stay opted in and then try to find a way out. So personally, I'm the sort of person who'd be opting out right now until we can get some sort of rock solid guarantee that information is not going to be falling into the wrong hands.
Ben, I think next time you come in, we'd like to talk to you about scams and how to avoid them. And,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
And things like that. I know you're a full bottle on that stuff as well. How can people get to you? You've got a website.
Well, the easiest way you can get to me is to jump on my website, which is benaylett.com.
And what's the sort of stuff you can help people with? I know you do cybersecurity as a specialty now, but what else do you do?
Or just basically anything to do with IT. I do training for people who might not know how to use something. I can help people spec out systems, and just generally any IT support work that needs to be done.
Fantastic. That is, of course, Ben Aylett. You can catch him on 6PR on Monday nights as well. At what time?
8:20 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday nights on 6PR.
And you can catch it on 6pr.com.au too if you want to listen to it and watch him on camera as well. Thank you, Ben. Look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks very much. I'll see you then.
That is it for the show for today. Thanks for your company. I hope you've enjoyed the show. We're going to go out with Jared West today, Writing in the Sand, and we'll see you next week on The Couch. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
As the waves crash upon the shore, the salt dries on your skin. Hair glistening in the sun, oh what a pretty scene. You sit there with your ukulele playing to the sea. You look at me and smile, this is where I need to be. As the wind whistles through the sands, you crinkle up your nose. The sun is going down soon and you don't want to go home. I'll run my hand through your hair and I'll kiss you on the cheek. Make a necklace from a seashell found beneath the old palm tree. So you run to the water with your surfboard in your hands. Life's a story, you're the author, so you write it in the sands. So run to the water with your surfboard in your hands. Life's a story, you're the author, so you write it in the sands. Tonight we'll watch the blood-red sunset sparkle in your eyes. We'll say how fast the time went, listen to the seagull cries. But tomorrow is a brand new day, and you will be back again. So close your eyes, and when you wake, tomorrow will begin. So you run to the water with your surfboard in your hands. Life's a story, you're the author, so you write it in the sands. So run to the water with your surfboard in your hands. Life's a story, you're the author, so you write it in the sands. You're the girl from the ocean. There's no place you'd rather be. Your life's in perfect motion. Your heart beats through the sea. You're the girl from the ocean. There's no place you'd rather be. Your life's in perfect motion. Your heart beats through the sea. So you run to the water with your surfboard in your hands. Life's a story, you're the author, so you write it in the sands. So run to the water with your surfboard in your hands. Life's a story, you're the author, so you write it in the sands. So you run to the water with your surfboard in your hands. Life's a story, you're the author, so you write it in the sands. So run to the water with your surfboard in your hands. Life's a story, you're the author, so you write it in the sands. So you run to the water with your surfboard in your hands. Life's a story, you're the author, so you write it in the sands.
This episode of The Couch is proudly supported by Crown and Andrews Board Games. Fun for the whole family. And Scoot Airlines. Get out of here with Scoot.